Social media for real estate in 2022. Business partner and I talk to over 30 to 40 real estate agents every single week about how to leverage social media for real estate to generate more clients. And in today's video, I want to talk about how we think through to help somebody get a clear understanding about how exactly to use social media as real estate agents to get more clients. Maybe your goal with your real estate social media is to build up your social media to stop cold calling so you can focus working on your business. Maybe your goal is to get clients outside of your sphere of influence for a real estate business so you can scale further when it comes down to your income. Or maybe your goal is to become the top producing listing agent in your market as opposed to working with buyers and trying to get them in a house in today's marketplace. Often these real estate agents we talk to are already on social media. They're already using the platforms, but they're just not getting that many actual real estate deals out of it. Maybe a couple deals here and there per year. Some agents are just not using social media at all. They're just using traditional marketing, but virtually every real estate agent out there knows that social media is something that they should be doing in order to scale their businesses in a meaningful, impactful way. The issue is that they just don't know how. So because of this, in this video, I want to give you a 6-step checklist that we use to diagnose problem areas in realtor social media. In this way, you can understand exactly why social media may not be working well for you right now in 2022. And also after seeing this video, after diagnosing these different problems, you have clear game plan in terms of moving forward. You know exactly what you need to do next with your social media as a real estate agent or somebody who's in the real estate business in order to scale to that next level. If you don't know me, my name is Pasi, Poutanen, and I'm founder of nosuit.io, and we specialize in helping real estate agents generate 5 to 20 real estate listing appointments per month through our strategic personal branding methodology. So the very first thing we learned when we started to work with real estate agents back in 2018, so almost 4 years ago now, that most real estate agents think about social media in kind of like a backwards way. And what I mean by this is most people are focused on learning different tactics. These may be things like how to post to Instagram, or how to get more followers on Instagram, or how to create a specific ad, as an example, on Facebook. So because of this, a lot of people just end up with a bunch of tactics, and none of these tactics really seem to actually work to get them the actual real estate clients. So what these 6 steps will allow you to do is to get that exact clarity, get that exact full picture. Now, I like to spend a lot of time studying success in virtually every areas of life. And one of those things that virtually every successful person out there is going to have is that they always begin with the end in mind. And same applies for you as a real estate agent when it comes down to using social media. You want to get clear on what do you actually want from your social media, because most people, they don't want more Instagram likes. Most people don't want more TikTok followers or more cold random leads coming into your CRM. So the goal is not any of those things. The goal is to turn a stranger, somebody who has absolutely no idea who you are. You guys have never met before. There's no trust built up, anything like that. Turn a person like that using your social media into somebody who sees you not just as a top of mind choice, but somebody as a top of choice choice. So when they're hiring a real estate agent, they want to work specifically with you, and ultimately not just to do this with one person, but to do this with thousands of local people at the same time. That is exactly the goal that you want to have when it comes down to your social media. So let's jump into my computer here and let's go over the exact psychological journey when it comes down to turning a stranger, local person in your market right now into an actual real estate client, and at the end of the day, a commission check. So the very first thing you need to have is awareness. So what I mean by awareness, if you ever watch people like, as an example, Grant Cardone, he always tells you that, okay, you need to get known in the marketplace. Well, in a very same way as a real estate agent, for your social media to work, you need to get yourself known. You need to have enough local people actually see you on social media. I see this mistake all the time. So people end up creating a lot of content on their social media. They end up putting in tons of work, investing into CRMs, marketing softwares, websites, everything like that. And quite often they have like 200 followers on social media and like no advertising at all. So of course, if you have 200 people following you on social media, you're not going to get any clients. There's just so few people. Maybe get one deal here and there, but like you simply don't have enough statistical volume in terms of how many people actually see you. Now, awareness, like we covered in the previous videos, there's 2 types of awareness you can generate on social media. Number 1 is organic reach. So this is the free reach you can generate on social media. With the free reach, the key thing to understand about that too is you want to have the right kind of organic reach. reach. And what I mean by this is sometimes people use like TikTok or things like that, but how many actual homeowners, 50, 60-year-old homeowners, are consuming TikToks right now? So probably not that many. So the key to understand about this is you want to have right kinds of awareness with your exact target market. And first of all, you want to look at your organic awareness. So if right now you have, say, 1,000 followers, that's a good place to start off with. But then you want to start learning strategies to grow that, as an example, to 3,000, 5,000 and more followers on your social media. In addition to this, and this is what most people actually miss, is that on social media there's another way for you to generate reach, and that way is the paid advertising. Now, most real estate agents really use paid advertising for lead generation. So you hear this all the time, this great ad to generate Facebook leads, or this great ad to generate Google leads, and so on and forth. Most people actually use it for that. But what you can do on social media as well is you can use those paid ads to, again, generate you awareness. And it's kind of like Dan Kennedy, one of the greatest marketers in the world, said, is that the company that can spend most amount of money on their marketing is usually going to win. And what he meant by that is that the company that really understands their numbers when it comes down to their market, the company understands that they spend $1,000 to get one listing, so they make $10,000 back, and then they understand, okay, well, I need to spend $2,000 now because it's profitable. Well, those types of companies usually win because they can get the most amount of awareness and most amount of clients coming into their business. And that's exactly what awareness means as well. Sometimes people have this kind of mindset where they say, well, I have a marketing budget, it's $1,000 a month, and they just stock in just like $1,000 a month, right? And of course, that's understandable if your marketing is not profitable, but the best real estate agents, best real estate marketers in the world, they're able to spend more money on their marketing because the marketing is actually good. The marketing is actually profitable. So that's why the very first step you want to focus in on is, okay, well, how much reach am I currently getting? How many followers I have on my organic social media? And then how much money am I spending on my paid advertising? And with awareness too, you want to pay attention not only to how many people actually see you, but then also how frequently they see you. This is a step I see realtors miss all the time where, they run like a lead generation ad, and then the lead generation ad has like, say, 10,000 impressions, or sometimes people boost their post one time and they have like 10,000 views, and they're like, wow, well, this post has 10,000 views, it must be working great, right? Well, that is not the case. As an example, with one of our clients, he has 100,000 people seeing him every year on his paid social media, but then also those people have seen him for over 2 million times. So as you can see, that people that have seen him on social media, yes, there's 100,000 people that have seen him, but they have seen him for over 20 times. And this makes all the difference when it comes down to that person actually remembering you when it comes down to selling their house. So the next step from here is going to be knowledge. And what I mean by knowledge is sometimes, again, I talk to real estate agents and they're running like a lead generation ad or posting on social media. Now those things are good. Like it's good to post on social media, but with your content, you also want to look at it, and with your marketing, you want to look at it and try to think of, okay, well, when a person sees this, do they actually understand like what is my service, how this is different, and how can I actually help them? So sometimes, quite often, I see people like say, example post, just listed, just sold, or 5 tips for selling your house, and those things are good. But after seeing those, does that person actually understand like what is your service, how can you help them, and who you are as a person, how you're relevant to their lives? Next step from here is going to be relationship. As you know, statistically, 33% of listings, they go based off referrals according to National Association of Realtors. So that just tells you how important relationships are when it comes down to real estate transactions. Now, the same thing applies on social media. Quite often, again, like we discussed in the earlier point, people might have those real estate posts, but does a person actually develop a relationship with you in a way where they get to know you as a person, get to know your values, get to know your family maybe, or maybe know your team, and so on and forth. Because these things are going to ultimately make all the difference when it comes down to that actual transaction. Does the person actually like you, know you, trust you based on the marketing that you put out? Next step from here is going to be authority. And what I mean by authority is ultimately going to be that situation when somebody is aware of you, they know your service, they know that you can help them, and they also have a relationship with you. So they know you, like you, and trust you. All those fundamental things when it comes down to getting getting them to do business with you. Now, from here, once the homeowner is ready to sell their house, the next step from there is going to be for them to choose the real estate agents they're going with. And ultimately, most homeowners, they will know more than just you in terms of the real estate agent selection. They may know their friend, they may know their cousin, somebody else who's also a real estate agent. And the key thing to do with your marketing is to get people to perceive you as the absolute number one top choice when it comes down to selling their house. Again, it's kind of like hiring a surgeon to cut your leg or cut your heart, and you want to make that thing as good as possible. You want to make sure, okay, when the person comes in and they start working on your body, they're going to know exactly what they're doing. Same thing applies to their home. The home is their absolutely most valuable possession most of the times for most homeowners. And they want to make sure that the person who's working on selling the house is going to do their absolute best, and they're going to be absolutely most qualified person for the job. So in the same way, you want to ask yourself, when you look at your marketing on social media, does that get that perception out of people? Does that your website, does your post, all those different things communicate the experience, the knowledge, the qualifications you have as a real estate agent in terms of selling their house? And from here, as a byproduct of authority, you want to create a situation for yourself where you're the number one preference for a real estate agent. And to be the number one preference, you also need to work on your invalidation. And what I mean by invalidation is you need to invalidate all the possible solutions for the homeowner when it comes down to selling their house. So as an example, what I mean by this is when you think about the home selling process, people could sell their house themselves. People could hire their friend. People could hire a discount broker for 1%. Are you right now in your marketing addressing these different things in order for that homeowner to get that you perceive you as the number one choice when it comes down to selling their house? From here, we're going to have need. This need point is very, very important because, as you know, people are not selling their houses every single month, right? People are only selling their houses usually a couple times in their whole lifetime. And because of this, the awareness part, where you have a lot of people see you and you have enough volume and enough frequency, that's why it is so important. You need to have enough statistical volume in your brand, in your pipeline, in order for you to get large, significant amount of clients. If you want to have 5, 10, 20 listing appointments a month, that means you need to have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people see you every single month with those organic and with those paid marketing activities on your social media. It's also very important that you trigger the need when it comes down to that home selling process. You need to be able to address different questions, different objections, different beliefs people might have about the home selling process in order for you to actually build up that need and then trigger that need when the time to sell comes. From here, we're going to have conversion. So like we covered earlier point, you need to be able to trigger people to take action. Now, once people take that action, as an example, they become your lead, or as an example, they become your message on your social media, you still need to be able to convert that message, convert that lead into an actual listing appointment, which is the last step. Quite often people see people do all those different things the right way, but when it comes down to their conversion, as an example, when a lead comes in, they call the lead a day from there or 2 days from here, and the response time is very, very slow. So the best real estate teams I've seen out there, always when the lead comes in, they call that lead pretty much on the same minute. Same thing applies to your social media. When you get a message from a home seller wanting to sell their house, you want to make sure you answer that message as professionally as possible with the right cadence and also as fast as possible, because if you don't answer the message in the next day or next couple hours, usually they're going to go with another real estate agent. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And lastly, of course, we have the listing appointment step. So you need to be able to know when, okay, now you get the listing appointment, how do you convert that listing appointment into a listing agreement? Are you able to be present with the homeowner? Are you able to probe for different problems? Are you able to present your solution as the absolute best one? And the best realtors know how to do this really, really well. So some people may even close up to 80% of their listing appointments, but some people may not be able to do that even though they think they can do that. So make sure when you look at your statistics based on how many listing appointments you have, that you have as high conversion rate as possible for an appointment into an actual listing. So a couple key concepts to summarize this video. The very first thing to understand is going to be the frequency. Remember, the more volume you have, the more statistical probability is going to be that you're going to generate yourself a listing. But also the key thing to understand is the frequency, meaning the higher the frequency, the more often people see you, the faster it's going to be a transformation to actually becoming a real estate client. So make sure that people don't only see you 1 or 2 times, that they see you 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, even 100 times or more. And something that can be useful with this is what we call an omnipresent strategy, where you take your database and run content pieces to that database every single month. Now, from here, the next step to understand is going to be the context and consumption, meaning most people are not going to read through, watch your content every single time you're going to be posting, but they might glance over it a couple times here and there, which is absolutely fine. You're getting them to understand how you can help them bit by bit, small pieces, step by step. And that's absolutely fine, because in social media, we can do this so many times. This is one of those things where traditional marketing, we can't really do that step by step, right? Oftentimes you need to send out mailer and somebody needs to buy the house or sell the house right away. But with this process, with social media, you can put out 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 content pieces, and you can get people to see those years over years over years. And when somebody's ready to go, you can get them on board. And lastly, I want to point out the repetition. So of course, as real estate agents, like we covered the awareness, the knowledge, the liking, top of mind preference, everything else. When it comes down to doing those things, you don't want to just put out the same thing over and over again. I see people post like, again, just listed, just sold, or something like that over and over and over again. Of course, it's like one angle that's going to work to one person. But the key thing to understand is that we have this large audience. We have thousands of people seeing you, and some people respond to different kind of stimulus. So you want to use different angles, you want to use different like creatives when it comes down to doing that, but you can tell the same stories, tell the same points, and do those psychological kind of like things over and over and over again. And that's where you can actually get your frequency to work really, really well, because now you have people seeing you tons of times, they see you oftenly, and then also you're doing different angles, so you're able to catch the different demographic, and of course you're able to keep the interest of those people who are already following you. So now you have the full picture in terms of what it's going to take to generate the clients you want on social media for your real estate business. You have the exact fundamental process that we use to help over 220 real estate agents right now, one-on-one. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the practical implementation aspects, like what kind of posts to do and how to create those things specifically to get more real estate listing appointments from your social media, I made a video about that a while ago. And if you'd like to learn about that, click on the video on this end screen right here and check that out. So I look forward to seeing you in that video to learn more about that.